Janet, and I am Ashley Mazuri.
And I'm Jesse Rogers. Thank you for making time. To a top story tonight, where President William Ruto has designated August 27th as Katiba Day, to be observed annually in honor of the 2010 Constitution.
In a proclamation issued from State House, the head of state says the day will commemorate the historic moment when Kenyans embraced a new era of constitutionalism, devolution, citizen-centered governance, and the safeguarding of fundamental rights and freedoms.
However, as President William Ruto leads the country in marking the 15-year anniversary, he's criticized of violating the very constitution he celebrates, with some pointing out that he was one of the document's fiercest opponents back in 2010.
Grace Nganga opens our broadcast.
Through a Gazette notice, the President proclaimed 27th August 2025 and every 27th day in the month of August forever to be observed as Katiba Day, further clarifying that the day will not be a public holiday but will instead remain a working day, with nationwide civic activities, public dialogues and educational forums in both Kenya and its foreign missions, focusing on governance, the rule of law and constitutional values. As the country prepares to mark 15 years of the existence of the 2010 Constitution, among its loudest opponents then was a younger William Ruto, who at the time served as minister. Ruto transversing the country, warning that the new law will undermine Kenya's future.
Mambo yaliyo katika katiba hii ni mambo ya kumwekelea mtu mmoja rais. Eti awe ndiye mwenye mamlaka yote, hata mamlaka Mungu hana.
However, 15 years later, the irony could not be greater. Now President Ruto is the man at the center of its anniversary celebrations, praising the same constitution he once fought to stop.
To operate outside the law is actually condoning impunity.
We are asking the president to be honest in this discussion of the constitution and, make sure you tekeleza katiba as Kenyans.
But even as he speaks glowingly about it, Ruto has been accused of being not just a late convert, but a violator, with pundits accusing him of undermining judicial independence through attacks on judges and delays in funding courts, pointing to controversial tax laws rushed through parliament without proper public participation in defiance of the constitutional spirit. Others cite a growing record of human rights violations, from police brutality during anti-government protest to the haunting reports of extrajudicial killings.
Sabasaba of 2025 here was the bloodiest day in the history of protests in Kenya.
For many Kenyans, the contradiction is glaring. How can a president who once opposed the constitution and now stands accused of eroding it leads in celebrations? Ruto, on his part, says he remains committed to upholding the rule of law. Yet, for civil society and opposition leaders, the verdict is struck. The president's words and actions do not match.
We find ourselves in a situation where the president is, declaring August 27th a day to celebrate the Constitution, when he's in a position to actually implement the Constitution, but he's actually doing the opposite.
In celebrating the 2010 Constitution, President Ruto may be seeking to rewrite his place in history. But the real test is not in speeches or anniversaries. It is in living by the spirit of the law, something many say remains his greatest contradiction. Grace Nganga, KTN.
In Kenya's evolving